Hello guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about the most recent patch, which isn't very content heavy, but it's fixed a lot of bugs, including aim assist, and it's added some cool things to ranked, so make sure you guys stick around for that. The content I'm going to be creating in this video is mainly going to be around rank play, because that's pretty much all my channel is about. I do post a little bit of pubs here and there, but it's going to be mostly about rank play, and maybe the odd things about pubs and multiplayer. It's not going to be covering zombies whatsoever, so unfortunately if you guys are here for that, I apologise. But yeah, let's start off with the patch notes, which I will be leaving in the description if you want to read through it as we go through it, so you can sort of see what I'm talking about. So starting off with things specific to ranked play, or some actually, you know what, let's go for some gun balances. So they've changed a multitude of guns. So there's a new SMG, which I have yet to try. That'll be interesting to see whether it's actually blocked or not in ranked once we get into it. They've changed the Sten, well gun, a couple of assault rifles, but the main thing they're going to change, which is going to affect you keen beans on ranked play out there, is the snipers, because that's probably the only gun that we use in ranked play out of the ones that they have adjusted. Mainly so the Kar98. The Kar98K tends to be the sniper of choice in rank play, and they've actually buffed this quite a lot. So they've made the ADS time from 595 milliseconds all the way down to 500 milliseconds, which is a 16% decrease in ADS time, which is actually nice. I know it's nice to be a little bit more snappier. I mean, I could hold my own with a Kar98K anyway, so this is lovely to see. They did leak this patch a while ago, but this has actually only become effective as of this patch today. But yeah, other than that, I mean, they've decreased the flinch as well by 30% across all sniper rifles and marksman rifles. So the sniper rifle is going to be a bit more viable. So if you are enjoying the sniper anyway, you're going to enjoy it even more. And if you haven't, it's probably worth checking out. Before I get too deep into this, the video you're watching in the background is going to be one of my placement games on Berlin. So I'll go 51 and 17, which is absolutely nuts for me. On Berlin with an SMG, but as I said, it was a placement game, so the lobby I was in isn't the best, but hey, the video is not about the gameplay. I digress. Moving back on to the things that matter, and that is the patch notes. Kar98K, I think, probably did need a buff. I am going to give my thoughts on bits and bobs and the changes with this. I do think it needed some form of buff, because no one was really using snipers, and the flinch on them was ridiculous, to be fair. But yeah, aim assist and stuff like that hasn't changed with the snipers whatsoever. Talking of which, they've said they've fixed aim assist. Now, it may not have been a problem for a lot of you guys out there listening to this video, or watching this video, but it was apparently more severe for Xbox users. Now, didn't seem to suffer from it as much as other people I've played with on Xbox. But anyway, they said they've fixed aim assist in a lot of the areas in which it was causing problem. But they have reiterated that this is really hard for them to fix, and if you've got any clips of aim assist being lost or not, just send them over a message on Twitter with the clip, and they should help to, you know, it's part of the community to help them fix it for everyone. So if you are coming across it and you're not happy with it, just clip it, pop it on Twitter, so they can help fix it. Moving on to other bits and bobs. So generally speaking, they've fixed all sorts of bugs, so like dev errors, people timing out, scrolling through your friends list used to boot you out, back out all the way out the social menu, and generally increased connectivity. So that's a huge plus for those of you who struggled with latency and things like that. What other highlights have we got here? So they've added a new arms race game mode, but I'm not really going to be playing that too much, to be fair. With the things that are specific to multiplayer and ranked, they've moved the bomb site on Bow Cage from inside the building. This is the A bomb site. They've moved it onto the A plat, which is actually quite interesting. It means that it's almost impossible to plant now at A, and I can imagine the B being the main bomb site people are going to be planting at. Now this has changed, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays. I think the reason for them doing this is that A was very heavily the only one they tended to, well, people tend to attack because you could get in there quite easy and put the bomb down. Whereas I think they're trying to even it out across A and B on most maps. So that's where they've done this. I think. So we'll see how it goes. How do you guys feel about this? I mean, I'm okay. I think initially it's going to be weird to adjust to, but I think overall I think it's better for the map. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Time will tell, I think. Moving on to a couple of other things they've addressed. So a lot of the bug fixes they've changed. They've fixed are with regards to exploiting the map. So there was places you can reach in Berlin and Bocage and Desert Siege, which now you can't. I'm not going to go through the details on those because I don't have clips of me doing it, so it's just going to be me talking. But if you want to read about those, as I said, the patch notes will be down in the description for you to be able to check those out yourself. Unfortunately, I haven't fixed the exploit on Gavutu on P1, which is where Celian was chilling. If you guys watch CDL, you'll know what I mean. But hey-ho, I don't see too many people using that anyway, so not too much of a problem. They've also changed the ball turret gunner for kill streaks, but again, not ranked play, so we're not too fussed about that. Moving on to ranked play specifics. So they've added a top 250 leaderboard, which shows you if you're sweaty enough to get there. Currently, anyone with a skill rating of 3,523 and above. I mean, this is as of me posting this video, so it's 4:30 on a 23rd of March in the UK. So yeah, anything after that, it's obviously going to change, and it's probably going to increase, if anything, because these players are going to keep winning. Their SR is going to keep going up, mainly probably by 6 or 7 at a time. But yeah, at the moment you need an SR of over 3,523 to get in that top 250. It's quite a weird mix. There's like the top 10 I don't think have many pros in it, which is bizarre to me, but yeah, it'll be seen. If any of you guys watching this is in that, I'd love a screenshot. That'd be, or a comment letting me know, because that'd be quality to know one of you guys are in that. Unfortunately, I'm not going to make it there probably because it's a grind. Maybe next season. Maybe next season when the stats reset and we can be replaced and things like that. They've actually added a completely different skill division to that area, so it's above Challenger. You get that the top 250 sort of emblem, which looks pretty cool, and it will show the players where you are on that top 250, which I quite like. So everyone can see that, everyone can access it, even if you're not in the top 50. So that's interesting. They've added more rewards, so the rewards can be earned by completing win challenges and earning ladder placements. So it's like cosmetics, things like calling cards, emblems, those sort of things. They've also added 2 pro issue weapon blueprints, which is the RAT and the STG, for whatever reason. Don't know why it's not the auto, because no one uses the STG in pro in CDL, but hey ho, is what it is. We've also added some other cosmetics like weapon charms, sprays and stickers and stuff like that. But they have added a skin which is only attainable if you're in Master, and if you win 25 games in Master, it's like a character skin, which will be quite cool to flex in pubs and Warzone if it's a cool skin. Moving on to the skill division rewards. So this is what I'm talking about. You've got to win 25 games in Master Steel Division, or higher actually, I must add, to get this Ranked Legend Operator skin. You also get Animated Emblem awarded at the end of the season based on the player's final skill division. So at the end of Season 2, if you're in Master, you'll get a nice little animated Master Emblem, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and each skill division has a charm that can be obtained by winning 10 games in that skill division as well. So it's nice to see they're adding some cosmetic changes here and there. Moving on to party restrictions. Now, I am very torn with this. I think the stricter the party restrictions, the better. But I know that's not everyone's cup of tea because you want to be able to play with your friends. But I think for a competitive game mode, you want to be playing against people in the same skill division as you. You don't want to be playing against someone all the way down, for example, low elite if you're in top master, because you should be coming against challengers at that point. But they basically changed it from... previously it used to be when you're in Master and Challenger you can only play with people within 500 skill rating of you. Now they can be just in one division from you. So example, like even if you are in the lowest form of Elite, you can still come across people or play with people in the top end of Master. It's not that 500 rating anymore. So Elites can play with Masters is essentially what that means. And that trickles down all the way through Elite all the way down to Advanced, Competitor, that sort of thing. I've added a few UI updates, so there's a reward screen which means you can track your progress towards your next unlock, which obtains like one of the calling cards and emblems and the cosmetic sides of things. So if you want to keep track of that, there's a new reward screen. There's also a skill division screen which basically just tells you your skill division. So if you don't know it, you should, but this helps you know it if you're not sure. The player's current rank number is now displayed above their rank icon in the rank play lobby, so previously it wasn't that for whatever reason it was bugged, but now That's cool. And players without a rank will now appear as unranked rather than whatever they're in, which I quite like. XP and weapon XP summary screens are no longer shown after rank play matches, which is nice. It just helps you get straight back into the you're not too fussed about your XP, really, are you, if you're playing ranked? I don't think. You want to know how far you've gone up in SR, so that's what it shows you first now. Moving on to the ladder screen now shows where you are in the current position, blah 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 blah. Now, I could go on and on about every detail in this patch notes, but you guys are going to lose interest, so I'm going to just move on to things I'm interested in, and hopefully you guys are as well. They've changed the rank progression, so you actually now earn more stars for winning your ladders. So first place now gets 7 instead of 5, top 5 get 6 instead of 4, so on and so forth. It sort of goes down, and any remaining players get 2 stars rather than 1. It just helps people rank up a bit faster. Which I think it was fine as it is. It made you feel like you had to grind a bit, and that's for the people who cared about that sort of thing. But I didn't feel like it was a necessary change. But hey ho, hey ho. Playlist changes. So they've changed the way the playlists work. So as you guys probably know, Desert Siege S&D came up a lot compared to Tuscan and Bocage, and they're basically fixing that to make it a bit more balanced. Yeah. Which is good. Yeah, they've just done a few tweaks here and there. As I said, I'm not going to go into it in too much detail, but they've done a few tweaks, few quality of life improvements, which I think are good. But one of the biggest things I am pleased about is they have removed the randomly exploding barrels from certain maps. So, for example, on Gavutu near P5, there's exploding barrels there which could randomly explode, which I absolutely hated. So thankfully they've got rid of them, so you won't be randomly dying as much, hopefully. And they've also added a weird, like a loadout vault thing. So they've recently stopped, they've not shown it anymore, so I can't show you unfortunately, but they did leak or tease some sort of loadout vault, which is essentially hinted to me that you could basically share loadouts with people, which is pretty cool, and save loadouts, like entire loadouts, not just for the gun, like the class setup, perks, everything. So I think that's pretty cool. And finally, they've changed control to ticks rather than kills, which, frustratingly, I did a control tips and tricks video in my last one, where it was completely different, so the tips are slightly different, but yeah, that's a nice thing to see. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. As I said, I'm going to leave the patch notes down in the description, but I want to know what you guys think. What is your opinion of this? Are you happy about the changes they've made? And what would you do to improve it still upon what they've done? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ciao.